Welcome to the Stubby versus the Smart Rifle comparison and myth debunking video. We're going to be looking at these guns versus each other in various scenarios with video comparisons as evidence, so we actually have data, something that we can actually see physically to determine which is better in what different scenarios, rather than just wild accusations that we might be seeing on the Steam forums. I really wanted to do this video because I keep seeing posts on the forums such as these, effectively saying the smart rifle is useless. And I've even seen some people say they kick people or kick engineers as soon as they see that they're using the smart rifle. Now, I've used it for over 100 hours now, 10 promotions coming on to 11 promotions, and I've got a different opinion and I want to share that. This next clip is from my smart rifle guide about the execution of overclock, but making it so that we can dish out a superior amount of damage in a short amount of time, and that is going to make the difference to your teammates on Hazard 5 and Elite Deep Dive. I won't be going into my smart rifle executioner build, the link for that is in the video description. What I'm going to be using this video for is focused on that last bit I just said there, quickly doing burst damage, taking down threats and helping your teammates. That's what we're focusing on here with these different videos that we're going to be looking at. Coming back to the forums again, you will often see that the people will just say the Stubby and the Warthog just completely outperform the smart rifle in every way. Now, I used the Stubby for 9 engineer promotions and I've used the smart rifle for over 9 promotions now. So I've got a really good baseline of what the differences are, what they can do, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. So what we're going to look at is the Stubby versus Webbers, Acid Spitters, Menaces, and we're going to break all of this down and much more as we go through this video. All of the smart rifle footage you will see in this video is the same build, and it's the build which is in my guide for the smart rifle. The Stubby, I build it in 2 different ways. One using super slim rounds with all electric for the crowd control and a bit more accuracy, and then the other is with EM refire, which sacrifices the accuracy, while I've still taken the tier 2 accuracy modifier, and is built for higher DPS, and you will see these displayed on the screen as we go through. These first few clips are just the differences between the super slim rounds and the EM refire booster, just to get our eye in that there is a difference between them. Some people seem to think the EM refire is just exactly the same as the super slim rounds at long range, but I think that is not the case. And just so that we can also see that sometimes you are going to have bad accuracy, especially in a really big wave. And a few short smart rifle clips just to get our eye in for the differences. And now a bit more of a proper comparison. I've got a timer at the bottom and then you can see the Webbers killed coming up there as well. This will then go up to the top left so we can see a comparison for our next video of the smart rifle. Now this one I was really trying to focus on the Webbers and not the other things because I knew I wanted to make this comparison, so I'm trying to focus those Webbers down.
Running. Incoming. Smoke him if you got him.
These videos, it's always going to be a little bit like comparing apples and oranges, but we're doing the best we can. And you know, you could probably knock 5-6 seconds maybe off of that Stubby score to bring it down to 27 seconds, because we had that Mactera spawn get in the way. But still, the smart rifle just has completely demolished the Stubby here. Now, taking down threats quickly is obviously going to help your allies, but can also help yourself, as this video is going to show you when I'm too busy looking up and not seeing what's around me. This is why taking down threats quickly is what we're going to be looking at, especially as we get near the end of this video when we start putting some longer clips together. And just looking at this, the power of taking down these Webbers quickly, and if I slow this down you can see 4 Webbers gone in just seconds. And this is what we're talking about, the speed and efficiency of that burst damage, and being able to then get back to your day or whatever else is you're doing. And here, in the middle of a fight, quickly taking down 2 Webbers and then getting back to normal. These first 3 clips are just to give us a baseline for how quickly we can take an acid spitter down. 4 seconds for the super slim rounds, 3 seconds for the EM refire, and then a second for the smart rifle. And then here, at super long range, we don't even finish this acid spitter off, it just becomes too problematic. Yet, we've got Molly gilling in the way here, and we're still taking an acid spitter down. If I slow this down, you can hardly see this acid spitter. Molly's gilling in the way, and we've still pinpoint taken it down. And you might be saying I've, cherry picked some clips which are bad here, but this is, I've got no pressure, I've got no wave on me. If you add a wave into this, you're not taking these acid spitters down. And yes, you might have a better, better accuracy, but it's not going to beat what we're seeing here with the smart rifle. And again with the timer here, 2 acid spitters. So we're looking at 7 seconds there, and then here we're going to take down 5 acid spitters, and we're looking at 5-6 seconds similar. And here's interesting, so we've got 2 patrol bots here at range, so again, like the Stubby wouldn't be hitting those anyway, and then I quickly take down the acid spitter and back to the patrol bots. I personally feel most of this next section just speaks for itself, really.
What a jaw-dropping experience! The hot potato!
Swarm? We got another swarm.
Return your bullet! New bug pot!
Ordering pump jack. Request accepted. Stand clear. Pump jack inbound.
Jaw-dropping! Rock and roll! That will teach you! Your history! Let there be!
Request accepted. Stand clear. Pump jack inbound.
Reloaded!
Rock and stone, everyone!
Mactera, try to eliminate it! I got it! I'm on fire!
This is a longer clip now because I really want to show how this quick time to kill, quickly taking down these threats, allows me to then sort of just get back to doing other things. So here, I've quickly taken down those threats that haven't been bogged down. Now I can refill my sentry towers, my shields are coming back up to full strength, and I'm ready and I'm looking around waiting for the next threat. I see these Mactera spawn, and again, we're talking seconds here we've got them gone, and I'm back onto this patrolling, scanning, waiting for the next threat to see if I can take it down, rather than being bogged down still trying to take on these units at range with the Stubby like we've seen in the other clips. And in these last few clips repeated, we're showing how quickly we can target lock and take a unit down. A lot of people were saying that they can twitch lock on quicker, that it takes too long to take these targets down because you lose time with the lock on. But just looking at this, you can see how quick it can be. These clips really show how long it takes for the Stubby to take down the Menace, especially at range. And in the next clip with the EM refire booster, you can see there's a bulk detonator, there's Mactera, the gunner goes down. These are all things which, if we can take down the Menace quickly, we can start dealing with the other threats. And this is something we're going to look at the end of the video.
You're fast, bug, but I'm faster.
Met. Hit the return button on the refinery to send the goods to orbit. We'll send in the drop pod to get you out. Swarm? We got another swarm.
I got a try-jaw.
And this breakdown really highlights the difference. 18 seconds for the super slim rounds. We also had an ally take some shots at that Menace. 7 seconds for the EM, but we had the gunner unload with his minigun, and the gunner went down. 3 seconds for the smart rifle, no allies assisting us, and it allows us just to then get back to what we were doing best with the smart rifle, scanning for other threats. And in this clip we can see just how long it can take to take down a Menace with the Stubby. This fight just goes on and on and on, potentially allowing the Menace to take us down, take our allies down, remove their health, or even fail the mission.
Reloading.
And if we compare this nearly 40-second ordeal to how tight this shot is, and we still take the Menace down.
Cluster out and back yourself. Watch out! Plasma buster!
And here we have another epic fight against the Menace with the super slim rounds, and this video goes over what I'm going to sort of focus more on at the end, and this is what I'm going to call this threat overwhelm. So this is, it takes you so long to deal with one threat, another threat comes along, and then another threat, and then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed by these threats. And this is something that the smart rifle deals with amazingly well, but as we can see in this video, the Stubby struggles with.
Roger that. Supplies are coming.
I'm not scared of you!
The Stubby versus the smart rifle when it comes to Menaces, it's just no competition. The smart rifle wins hands down.
We got Menace!
These first two clips are on dozer missions where time can literally save the dozer and save the mission. Being able to quickly take down threats and then move on to other threats makes a huge difference on these types of missions. So we can really see how long it's taken these super slim rounds of the crowd control build to take down this Oppressor. Obviously the EM refire booster is going to be quicker, it's sacrificed some of the crowd control for the bigger magazine, the extra weak point damage, but this is solo, so the Oppressor's got less health, whereas in the next clip we're using the smart rifle with 4 players, it's got more health and still takes it down in an even quicker amount of time. So this was the EM refire booster taking down a Praetorian and an Oppressor. Obviously we needed to get pretty much point blank range to be able to take him down that quickly. Here we can see the smart rifle uses a bit more range to be able to take down the Praetorian, gives us a bit more time, and we're going to use less breach cutter shots to be able to take down these targets as well. So as time-wise goes, it's pretty similar, but we have the range of the smart rifle. And here we're going to have the Stubby with super slim rounds at range taking this Praetorian down. No, I'm only joking, that would take ages. It's just to show you that really we can't take the Praetorian down at range, whereas the smart rifle, obviously this is extreme range, we get 2 shots off at this. And this is a good example, you know, people saying that the smart rifle doesn't bring anything to the table, doesn't help the team. I'm taking this Praetorian down whilst the rest of my team are dealing with everything on the other side. I'm then dealing, you know, mostly with this Oppressor at range. That gunner isn't doing much. Because he sees that I'm taking it down, he goes off and focuses on something else. This is what we're gaining using the smart rifle here. So here we're solo and we get some younglings rolling in, causing some havoc. We're using the Stubby with super slim rounds and it's taken us a while. Actually, we don't even really take them down, it's more the turrets. But then here we can see with the smart rifle, we quickly eliminate 3 of these targets. And this is just saving us so much time. We can now focus on other things we want to focus on. We don't have to worry. You know, the Stubby, we're still going to be firing at these younglings, still trying to take them down. And then if we unfreeze this, I can now get back to what I'm doing, focusing on the Mactera, which was a threat to me, and then dealing out with some of these other threats which are at close range. But then I can start focusing on trying to revive these 2 dead dwarves. In this example we have the Stubby trying to take on a shellback, and you can just see how long this has taken me, how long I'm trying to focus on it. And whilst all of this is going on, I've got all of the swarm building up on me, getting involved, I've got this Mactera, and then the only reason I managed to take it down so quickly is because it opens up and I've got the breach cutter and the turrets there. Now if we compare this to a 4-player game with the smart rifle, you can see I've got Dwarf down, we're waiting for the pod to power up, and I can take it down quickly and move on to something else. Here we have a Warden kill at long range. Now this isn't easy, and actually taking on Wardens can be a right pain in the backside with the smart rifle. But you can, the Stubby just cannot do this, well, it's not going to do this as quickly as this, but it is awkward firing at a Warden. And now we have some drone equivalents with super slim rounds, and I've got a EM refire booster against the drones as well to show us a bit of a difference either between the Stubbies and especially with the smart rifle. And you will not believe the smart rifle how quickly it takes down these patrol bots. Again, like the Warden, it can be awkward, and you'll really notice the difference when you're not hitting their weak point with the Executioner, but when you do, as you'll see in these clips, it's pretty crazy.
Don't let the prospect Shredder destroy!
The smart rifle is obviously amazing at taking down cave leeches, even seeing them in the dark, or here quickly taking them down. And then if we look at the equivalent of the Stubby versus them, and here we go. I'm only joking. Obviously the Stubby can take down cave leeches, but the smart rifle being able to see them in the dark. And here we go, the Stubby again. Okay, no. the next one, seriously, this will be a proper one, I promise you. So the Stubby obviously can take down a cave leech. This is obviously a bit longer because I had no ammo, I had to reload at the start. But the smart rifle just completely, you know, wipes the floor with the Stubby when it comes to cave leeches.
Contact. We've got 4, wait, 6, no, 12. A lot of aliens heading your way.
Close range engagements is an obvious weakness of the smart rifle, and we will look at some comparison shots now. This is the super slim rounds with the crowd control, the electrocution hitting nearby targets, and it performs amazingly well, even with the lack of additional sort of damage options and magazine size compared to the EM Refire booster. The EM Refire booster, we've got that additional mag size, we don't have the crowd control element, but we can take down these targets quite quickly, but we still get overwhelmed slightly. These first few clips, this is in a, what I've called a controlled environment. I've tried to get a starting area and get it sort of as prepped as much as possible to make it easier to take on this wave.
Hostiles are backing down. Finish them.
And now with the smart rifle, I'm obviously trying to line up to get as much sort of benefit for my super blow through rounds, trying to curve into the targets which don't have the target lock on to make sure I'm sort of, you know, being ammo efficient and taking out the horde as quickly as possible. Now I think this is, you know, it is slower, but it's still doable. And obviously, you know, normally I'd be using my secondaries here, but the whole point of these clips is to show you, you know, the smart rifle taking on hordes. You know, for example, if you've got no grenades left, no breach cutter ammo left, but you can still take them on. And now some more natural, sort of complicated environments to take down on hordes, just to give us an example of close range in areas where it's going to be not quite so easy just to line them all up. You can see the crowd control of the electrocution going over to the other targets really helping the super slim rounds here. Some people do run this on the EM Refire booster as well. Obviously it's going to impact your DPS when taking on Praetorians and Oppressors. And I think this is really highlighting the false perception that people have that as soon as you get into close range with the Stubby, you're just going to wipe everything out and it's going to be much better than Smart Rifle. But actually, comparing these video clips, I think is not much in it, to be honest.
Take your sweet time, old lady. I've got all day. Oi! Carry support here! Eat it!
And this is what we've been building to from looking at these examples of how quickly the Smart Rifle compares to the Stubby. Here we're starting to get overwhelmed by threats. We've got a player down, the Oppressor is causing issues, and I can't take it down quickly or efficiently. I can hear I see the Brundle there. I've then got the Mactera grabber, which I've heard, but it's off in a different location. I'm still messing around with this Oppressor. Acid spitters are then getting involved. One of the players has been grabbed by the grabber. It's all starting to become a bit too overwhelming for the Stubby, and this is where you're going to potentially lose runs on Hazard 5, lose elite deep dives. And this is what I said at the beginning of my guide video about the executioner overclock. This is what is going to help our teammates on Hazard 5 and elite deep dives, taking down these threats quickly and then moving on to the next one. And then if we look at a different example of the smart rifle here, we have an Oppressor come in. I deal a fair amount of damage to it. I don't actually finish it off here, but I've reduced its threat. Somebody else could probably deal with that. I've then got the Mactera, that goes down. We've got a player gone down. I still finish off the Oppressor because I've done that DPS. The Brundle then comes in, and I take a Weber down. I'm hoping this video has highlighted what the smart rifle can do. This quick time to kill is invaluable to helping out your teammates. And this is what we're talking about. You are quickly taking down threats, either moving on to the next threat, or you're preparing yourself, you're being ready, you're scanning for the next threat that is going to come along. You can reload your sentry guns. You know, all of these things are amazing because you're giving yourself time. You might have a lack of ammo when it comes to the smart rifle. It might be a little bit awkward at close range when you've got enemies, you know, appearing on top of you, but you are giving yourself so much utility and so much ability to be able to help your teammates that it is absolutely amazing. And I think, especially when you consider range as well, range, speed, burst damage, it is an amazing gun. And I think, you know, hopefully you've watched this video and seen some of the potential, and hopefully I've removed some of the myths and debunked some of those sort of Steam forum posts that people have said about the smart rifle and the issues it has, especially when compared to the Stubby.
Was born ready. Put out all that in the notice. Watch out! Weapon ready! Ow! Plasma burster! There! Sword ready! Die like your mother did! Brother. Stay strong, brother! Flares up! Horde ready! Mactera frontal down!
Cavalry's here. New miner inbound.
Rock and stone, everyone! Hit it! Let's get them in. New and welcome. Horde ready!